So I'm gonna start off stuff that my friend had told me to do. They want me to be a motivational speaker because apparently I've helped them through some stuff in their life, which I will now try to help you with yours. Something I say might hit one of you guys now or later in life, and you can use that to build a foundation to build more success off of that, to keep grinding and pushing something that you want later on in life. So basically, one of the stuff that I tell my friends, something I tell my friends is that if you're angry at something that's so stupid like a video game, yes, somebody is saying video games are not stupid, but believe me, video games are stupid to put your anger into someone that is yelling at you from probably halfway across the world, other side of the world, something like that. But what you want to do, turn the anger into an energy that you can build into something that will actually help you in life, to build towards something that you actually want to be at and where you want to be in life. Because sometimes the success that you make, someone wants to know how you did this. It's what people ask me all the time. How did you get to the point where you can actually help someone with this much motivation and give this much help? Basically, I have seen things and I've experienced things that help me now build off of that. So I'm building off of that and taking chips out of that and passing to people and saying, this is what you should do in this situation here. You want to build off of what you have here. So you come to me and you tell me something that happened, and I can build something off of what you have experienced into something else that you can build you to success, to get you where you want to be. Let's say you're overweight and you said you want to lose weight. I would always tell you work out, but I'm not going to say to work out and leave it at that. I'm going to give you something to do. I'm going to give you an exercise that can slowly build up to something that might make you want to move further in life with exercises. Basically, I will probably tell you to do push-ups. Do push-ups for many days, and just keep building on those push-ups. They can do 20. Then come back to me, and I will change something, or I will add something to it, just to make it harder and get you to the point where you want to lose more weight. And because you feel good that you have done this, that you have become something that you really want to do in your life, but you could not find the motivation to do it yourself. You needed help. So I will tell you, well, look up motivational videos. Billy Osborne. Look up Billy Osborne on YouTube. He's the greatest motivational speaker that I have ever heard, and I take most of my tips from him. And I take most of what he says and change it into my own words to people my age that can understand it. Because some stuff he says are for adults because they're older and stuff like that. But I will change it to the point of where the younger kids that are my age, following my age, which is 14 to 18 or younger, if they want to start working out early like that, I would change it so they can understand it and they can better transform that knowledge I've given them, something that they can deal with and make it into something that is worthwhile for the time to deal with. One of my friends who was working out for a very long time said he was losing motivation and the momentum and the grinding ability that he had before, because he was so excited that he could do it. He was actually doing better than I was with my workouts, because I was only probably adding 20 push-ups to my tally every 3 weeks. He was adding 20 push-ups to his tally every week. He was building on that. But he said he was losing motivation because he was only doing that. He wasn't doing anything else. So I gave him a new exercise. I told him to work out his legs, do something like that, or just begin a new workout that's completely, it can still be related to what you're doing with your upper body, but just change it up a little bit. So I gave him diamond push-ups, clap push-ups, running, and I gave him pull-ups and chin-ups and all that stuff. And he came back to me 4 weeks later saying, this is working great. I am now motivated, and I can now grind and have momentum to where I get to want to be in life. So I said, that's great, man. You keep working on that. When it gets boring again, come back to me, or you can take what I've given you and just change it up again and build stuff off of it and change some stuff around and add numbers if you want to. Take away numbers and add numbers somewhere else. Just keep building off of this until you get to the point where you can keep moving back and forth from what you want to do in life or what you want to do with your work and stuff like that. I actually have a lot of friends, surprisingly, that I built off of it. I have now what I've given them, what I'm talking about, and the motivation that apparently I can give people, and help I can give them. So, a couple of my friends are actually older, like 26 and 25. One of them had money problems. And I won't give out names because I know it's got to be confidential, but he had money problems. But I told him, what do you buy? What stuff do you get? What stuff do you value so much to the point where you don't have money now? He's got a good job. He makes good money, but he listed a bunch of stuff he did not need. You need to cut stuff that you can live without, out of your budget, out of your money budget, and buy only the essentials that you absolutely need. Because once you have maybe $400 saved up, then you can start buying the stuff that is just pleasurable items that you want, stuff that you want to buy, like chips. Chips aren't really needed. They aren't really fundamental stuff that you need to eat. So what you want to start out with is just meals. You want to start morning meals, breakfast, lunch, dinner, stuff like that. And then once you have enough money saved up that you can start going out and buying pleasurable items, you should do that. But before that, you want to save up as much money as possible to get just a solid foundation for your financial ability, and then go from there. And he said that helped out. He came back just like my other friend and said, "This is really helping. I don't know how a 14-year-old can tell me this. I couldn't figure it myself, but it's just my gifts, I guess." Anyway, my goal and my hope is to help you guys move forward with what you want to do. And I will probably keep posting videos and hopefully do a better job than I'm doing now, and helping you guys get to where you want to be. I'll move on to the motivation. There are 3 things that I usually do for my motivation, which is motivation, obviously, but to get that motivation, you need to have the ability to grind to where you want to be, and to have that starting motivation and that momentum. What I will usually do before I start something new is I will look up stuff all about the subject, or I'll look at motivational quotes, or I'll think of stuff myself that'd be motivational to get me to start to where I want to be. And after that, I will start all guns blazing. I will do whatever it takes to get to the point of where I want to be. And after a while, if you keep doing it, you will lose your momentum and your motivation, because you've done it so many times that you're thinking, well, this is boring, what do I do now? You want to keep adding things to make it more interesting, to get your brain to think, all right, this is new. How do I rack this? How do I get this to become a normal part of life? And it becomes so boring, and to the point where I know he won't give up. So at that point, you want to keep adding and playing with it like dough. You want to keep kneading it and moving and forming it something that you want it to be. Once you get to that point, you will keep adding and adding and adding to that dough, that it becomes so big to the point where there's so much stuff you can actually do. You can branch out, try new things, and go from there. And after I did that, after I started realizing that this is actually how life works. Life is like a crossroads. You have many choices to go. You can either choose success or failure. The thing is, though, is that you're blindfolded when you choose a road. So you choose a road to walk down, and sometimes it'll be failure. Once you get failure, or a dead end, which will also be failure, you backtrack and you go forward again, using this failure to give you more energy and to build success off of failure. The more you fail, the more you will succeed later in life, because you know what failure feels like. You don't want to experience that again. And if you do experience it again, you know how to get out of that, because you have experienced failure before. You know how to backtrack and get back on the right road, the right path. You took a wrong turn. You want to turn back around and back out and get back into the right turn and get to where you want to be. Basically, once you do this, life will get so much easier to understand for you. Life will get so much easier for you to navigate through. Because basically, life is really like a video game. I'm not kidding. It is basically like a video game. It is a multiplayer, massive multiplayer online game. Where basically you have a dialogue box, and you have roads that you choose. And basically, how you use the dialogue box and which road you choose will change how the story unfolds, how the story works. So if you be nice to people and you help people out and you choose the roads that'll lead to something that'll better yourself and better other people, help other people, your life will be so much better than if you chose to be mean to people, be cruel to them, you call people bad names, bad words, just yelling bad words for no apparent reason, and choosing bad choices in life. If you take that road, your life will probably be something that you don't want to be at, or you'll realize too late that you made the bad decisions. And you can always get out of bad decisions, but sometimes if you get so far into a bad decision, it's hard to back out. It's hard to cover that mistake up, and it's hard for you to not go back to that. Believe me, I have had many mistakes that I do not proud of and I don't want to go back of. But now that you've experienced that, and sometimes the pleasurable item, something like that, you realize that, without that, you just don't know what to do with it anymore. So you want to go back and try it again and keep drinking that pleasure out of it, but you don't want to do that, because that is bad. Once you get back into pleasure, it's kind of like a drug. Once once you find something that is actually like that kind of helps you, like smoking. Smoking's a bad habit, but it's like it is actually a drug. It'll help. It'll get something in your brain, trigger something, the pleasure part in your brain, and when it'll get you addicted to it. Once you get addicted to it, it's so hard to break that addiction. I have never smoked myself, but I've helped people stop smoking. It's easier for someone who has never smoked to tell someone to stop smoking because you never experienced it and you don't know how it actually works in someone. It is highly addictive to some people because it calms their nerves, and it's hard to get them out of addiction like that if you can't find something else to replace that thing that stops their nerves and calms their anxiety and helps them. But the thing is though is that once you make them realize it is bad for the health. Basically how I got someone to realize that it was bad for the health is because I challenged them to a race after they've been smoking for 3 years. They were only 14. They're my age, and they started smoking for 3 years. They started really, really young. I'm not sure how they got hold of cigarettes, but they did. I challenged him to a race, and he said he could beat me. Okay, he said he could outrun me, he could win me, and after he got to the winning spot, he wasn't breathing hard. I said, okay, I'll do this. So I ran, but I wasn't running at full pace, and he knew I wasn't running at full pace because I wasn't breathing hard at all. And usually I'm not really a runner. I run, but I don't do that often because I've hurt my knees in the past by running, and I need to fix that somehow. But I wasn't even running that hard. I wasn't running that fast, and he knew I wasn't running that fast because he could see it, that I was actually looking at him because I was worried. Because if I ran too far ahead, he tried to push himself to the point if he could not go that. He could not go to that point where I was pushing myself because after him smoking for so long, he had gotten lung damage. And he realized this after we got to end the race. And I said, if you stop smoking, I will set you up for success. I will get you to the point of where you want to be. Because basically, it only takes about, depending on how long you smoked, it could take anywhere from an hour to about 2 days before your body starts healing and repairing your lungs and stuff like that. It is so easy for your body to repair itself if you stop something, because your body is always repairing itself. It's always regenerating cells, because cells are constantly dying and things are constantly getting hurt and infections are constantly trying to invade your body, and your body's working overtime always to try and fix this and repair damages. So this is why it's so easy for when you stop smoking, you start feeling better after like 24 hours, because you realize, hey, I'm not smoking anymore, my body's working overtime to fix me. And you'll go through withdrawal. I'm not kidding, you will go through withdrawal. But you have to grind through it. You have to work through it. And sometimes, in many cases I've seen, friends I've helped through addiction, since they know that addiction is like, and going through that withdrawal, they have actually had better success than I have in the past, because they know, hey, if I can grind through addiction, I can grind through this. And this is so much easier than addiction. I have had friends that I've helped. They're much older than me. They're like, when I was 10, I helped someone that was 15 or 16. Anyway, he wanted to go in the military, but the problem was he was smoking. Again, another friend was smoking. And then I told him, if you stop smoking, you can get in the military, no problem. You'll pass these exams like no one's business. He said, all right, I'll give it a try. And I kept denying him. I kept giving him other stuff. I kept trying to divert him from the path of smoking again. And I kept him away from smoking for 24 hours. And that's when withdrawal set in. That's when he wanted to start smoking again. But I invited him over to my house to spend the night. My parents knew what I was doing. They actually thought it would be a good idea if I did this. So I kept him in my room, and I just talked to him. We talked. We played board games. We played video games. And after a while, the withdrawal went away. And he's like, all right, how do I fix this? How do I go forward from this point? And I said, you work out. You do whatever you want, because you want to go in the military. You have to start working out again. You have to start getting your body to the point where it can actually fundamentally get through these challenges that they will give you in boot camp. So he said, all right, let's start. So I started running with him. I started doing push-ups. I started doing flutter kicks, sit-ups, weightlifting, pull-ups, chin-ups, you name it, we did it. And I helped him through it. I was there with him this entire time because I was his main buddy at the time. And now he's in the military. He's got plenty of other buddies that helped him through this. He successfully got out. He started drinking in the military, but he got out of drinking because of the stuff that I've helped him through. He remembered what I did to help him, and he said, this is helpful that you give me, because you have laid down the milestones in my life to help me think and remember what it was to be in addiction and how hard it was to get out of addiction. That I could immediately stop when I felt myself getting into addiction, and I stopped for a long period of time. And now now my friends, my buddies in the military know that I have a problem with alcohol and smoking, and they keep me from smoking, but they allow me to have one beer every 3 weeks. We go out to the pub. We have off days in the military, and I said that's great as long as you put a barricade on something that would be a problem for you in the future. Put a barricade on that, and have access to it limited amount of time, as limited as possible, and try not to get addicted to it, or you can try not to do it at all. If you're not trying to do it at all, you don't experience it at all, it gets so much easier, because you don't want to try something until you've tried it. Because basically, the term ignorance is bliss is actually true. Because once you try something, you liked how it felt the first time you tried it, unless it was bad, like breaking your bone. You don't want to break a bone again, right? Because that's painful. Anyway, if you start drinking and you like the fact that you like the drink, you like how it tastes, stuff like that, you will go back to it because you have felt what it felt like before the first time. And you want to keep building up. You want to keep reliving that pleasure of what you did there. So basically, if you never even want to try it in the first place at all, like period, you want to block that thought out of your mind, just don't try it at all, and life will be so much easier for you. This is how you have to do things in life. This is how you never quit. Because once you realize that you can actually pull up walls in your head to stop you from doing something that would be like pleasurable. Like for me, I want to go military, and I realize that boot camp is not going to be fun. There's no way it's going to be fun. So what you got to do is you got to build endurance and strength, and you got to put barricades and walls up in your mind to make your mind know you're not going to quit anytime soon. You're not going to be out of this, even though quitting would be pleasurable, because you wouldn't be put through this hell anymore. You wouldn't be put through this pain of what you have to do in boot camp. And I realized this, and I thought, all right, let's start early. Let's start as early as possible and put barricades up. We'll start strengthening barricades. Sooner or later, I'll have a huge wall that my mind cannot break through, and I can now realize that I'm not going to quit. I'm not quitting anytime soon. I'm in to win it. So after I realized this, I started working double time. I worked so hard to get to the point of where I wanted to be, and a point of success that people started coming to me more and more because I realized he's a role model now. He knows exactly what he's talking about because he's experienced things, he's done things, and I didn't like the fact that I was noticed. Okay, I don't want to be noticed at all. I want to be in the shadows where I can work by myself without people staring at me and judging how I'm doing something, and then coming to me saying I should do something differently, but they've never done it before, so they can't judge you. When someone judges you and they haven't done it before, ignore it, or take the judgment and you put it somewhere else. You put it into your energy storage, where you say, all right, well, I think I'm doing this wrong. I'll show them differently. I'll put it into my energy, and I'll keep doing it my way, and I'll show them my way is better than theirs because I'm gaining more. I'm getting more distance than they are. I'm gaining more traction than they are. I'm getting further in life than they are. When their advice is to do something differently, I'm still doing it my way, and I realize, hey, my way's better. So you keep doing it your way, or you try it their way once. Don't get addicted to their way, because their way can be bad. Their way can lead you astray to the point of where you don't want to be at all in your life. So you want to keep digging to your way, because your way works, because you have invented your way to what you know would work for you, because it's your body. You know what your limits are on your body, because you lived in it for who knows how many years. It could be 10, 14, 15 years, 20 years, maybe even 60 years, and you just want to keep grinding towards where you want to be in life. And they have their own body. They have done stuff to their own body. They know their limitations. And they're trying to pass on their knowledge to you, even though you have something completely different. You have different physique. You could have traumatic stuff, like you have broken an arm or leg, and your body doesn't work the same way theirs does. So you can try their way one time, and if it's better, incorporate parts of it. Don't incorporate it all, because you may do something wrong. So incorporate parts of it that you think would be a good idea into your own way and work from there. Basically, I have told someone this myself. When someone tells you that you're doing something wrong, you accept the fact that, hey, maybe they're right. You try it their way, and then if you think it actually works out, incorporate parts. You pickpocket, well, you not pickpocket, sorry. You go through with a fine-tooth comb and you pick out all the parts that actually seem like a good idea and incorporate it into your own idea to build a different mantle, to build something that's stronger. Like, let's say, right now, you have wood. You have a wood pickaxe. We'll go with Minecraft here, okay? We'll take a book from we'll take a letter or page from Minecraft. You have wooden pickaxe. Wooden pickaxes in Minecraft are basically useless once you get to a stone pickaxe. What you want to do then, if you have a wooden pickaxe and someone gives you advice, and if they're older than you and they have been doing some of the stuff that you're doing now, you take their advice and use it once, and then you pick out what is useful and upgrade your wooden pickaxe to a stone pickaxe, which makes it stronger, which makes you better at what you're doing now. And then you go to someone else. They give you more advice. You take that advice and you comb through it again, and you pick out stuff that will upgrade your now stone pickaxe to an iron pickaxe, and you go through again, and you keep going through life doing this, and sooner or later you have a diamond pickaxe, which is the strongest thing there, which has so many uses, which you can use over and over and over and over again. And when you feel yourself weakening because you have no more people to take advice from, you make your own advice. You go back to your life and figure out what worked for you in the past, and you keep moving forward. Basically, it's like a game. It's like Leapfrog, the game Leapfrog, where you keep jumping over each other and keep going further and further and further, which is what you want to do. You want to keep going back. You look back at past experiences, and you keep dragging stuff from your past until you can't drag it anymore. And then after that point, you don't want to look back at your wake, because if you look back at your wake, you're going to think, well, shoot, maybe I should go back that time because it's easier for me. You don't want to do it. You want to keep pushing forward. Always keep your eyes front. You want to take all that you can from your past and want to keep going forward. And after a while, you will start realizing that you have so much advice passed on to someone else, and tell them exactly what someone told you. Like I told my friend, he said, yeah, after a while, I turned around and told my other friend, hey, this is what someone told me, and it worked out for me. You should try it. And he did that, and now they're both serving the same military branch at the same rank. Not together, but they're still serving the same rank and stuff like that. And they said it was the greatest advice they ever received, ever. And I felt happy they did it. I started getting all my feels and stuff like that. And someone contacted me, hey, why aren't you doing what you tell people to do? I'm like, I don't know. Well, I just know what I'm talking about because, I felt good. I felt what I was talking about. So I came with a snappy comeback saying, well, I don't got time to do what I want to do because I'm helping people do what they want to do, what they want to be in life, what they want to succeed at. And I realized, after I stopped talking to him, I was heated and stuff. I didn't want to talk to him anymore. I started talking to myself, like saying, hey, you can actually make time to do this stuff that you tell people to do. You can actually make time to go back and change yourself. Something that people will actually think, hey, he's got the body telling me that what he's doing is working. What he's giving us, the advice he's giving us is working. And he's got the motivation and drive to also let us know what he's doing is working. So I did that. Because I was overweight when I was saying this. Hey, you should do this, that. Okay, I was actually lying. Saying, I work out, I do all this stuff. But back then, I was out to here. This is how big my stomach was. Back like that. And I realized, you know what? Yeah, they're right. I have to start working out. I have to start changing what I'm doing now to let people know, hey, I'm not a fraud. I know exactly what I'm talking about. So I did that. And I realized my advice was much, much harder than what I thought it'd be. I thought it'd be pretty easy, because all I'm doing is giving them the words. All I'm doing is telling them, this is what you should do. Do this, to succeed at whatever you want in life. But I realized I'm not doing that. I'm just sitting back and telling people what to do. And I'm succeeding. I'm succeeding what I wanted to do. But if you don't do what you're telling people to do, like you've never been there before, try it. Because once you do it, you'll realize, hey, if I change this a little bit, this information to someone else might be better than I might get the last person. You want to take away much success as you gave to someone else. Take away what you gave to them. Like, comb through it again. Comb through it like you were when you told people. Comb through other people's advice. Comb back through your advice and take everything that would actually be helpful and incorporate it to the new stuff that you have found out. And then keep giving out and keep incorporating new stuff and keep incorporating your successes into a bigger success in life. Because once you succeed so many times, people start looking up to you again. People start looking up to you even more because they realize, hey, before he was doing this, but I didn't really believe him because, he's still overweight, doesn't really do what he's telling us to do. and now he's fit. He's doing the stuff that we're he knows what he's talking about because he's doing the stuff that he's telling us to do. So I started doing this. I felt pretty good. I was rocking. I was like, yes, this is the best thing that happened to me. What I'm doing now, because my friends have told me to do, is great. When you have a friend that can tell you bluntly, you're doing this, but why you're telling people to do, but why aren't you doing what you're telling people to do? Why are you still like this when you could be like them, when they're out there succeeding in life, and you're still here eating Cheetos on a couch? Like, that's hurtful, but sometimes you need that bluntness, and you will learn to appreciate that bluntness someone gave you in life to change. And when you change something that's better for yourself, when someone gives you advice that will make you worse for yourself, don't do it. Don't do it. Find someone that is, incorporate friends in your life that will actually lift you up and that'll help you through stuff. If you find someone that's just gonna be like, yeah, you should do this, this, that, and starts and he's drinking and smoking while telling you to do this, take it with salt, lots of salt. What they say, because you're looking at their life thinking, well, they got tattoos, they're in their 60s, but look like they're 80 because of their drinking and they're smoking. You want to change this. Go incorporate some of the stuff, not all. Like I said before, not all the stuff they're telling you. Incorporate some, very minimal. If it's something you can trust, trying exactly what they said, and then incorporate what they said. Sometimes more, sometimes less. Depends on the friend. Depends on how trustworthy they are to you. Like me, you don't even have to take any of my advice because you never met me before. I just started doing videos because I thought, hey, I try telling people what to do. Because I'm helpful with that. People say I should do it, but if I'm giving this advice, you should try and take it little by little. Go through the video over and over again if you want to. Save the video and keep rewatching it and keep building yourself up, saying, alright, I'll take this out. He said this seems helpful, I'll take this out. They said this also seems helpful, I'll take that out. And then start writing down things that you think would be helpful for you. And then once you have a big enough list, stop the video and try and incorporate it into your life for the next 3 weeks. And then go back to the video and rewatch it and say, alright, I've done this, he's got more to say. Let's try and go through it again and keep building off what he said. Like that. And I did that for a couple videos myself, from other people, from other motivational speakers before I started out. I went through, I wrote down stuff that I thought would be helpful, because some of the stuff motivational speakers are for the older people, the older audiences. They're not for the younger people, because the younger people, they figure out life later. They will start looking through his videos later in their life. But no, I started out early. I wanted to get to success point as early as possible, or started on the road to success as early as possible. You can never be too young to start success. The only thing that's stopping is the fact that you can hurt your body so bad to the point where you stop succeeding and you stop your momentum completely. It's like putting a door jamb on your door because it won't move anymore. Because that's basically what hurting your body is doing. You're slamming a door jamb in there and slowing down the success of what you were having and this experience that you were having to the point of where it's basically like a turtle crawling on the ground. You're slowing down so much. You don't want to do that. What you want to do is you want to look at videos. Okay, look at videos. But again, write down stuff that they're doing for workout videos or whatever you want. If you want to do business, look at business videos and take out certain stuff and write it down and start studying. Studying as early as possible so you can have the mindset and you can have the motivation and the grinding ability to get to a point of where you want to be. You want to keep building off of that success. For me, my success came from my cousin. Like I said, I probably said before in this video, I don't remember. My success came from my cousin because he was also one of those blunt friends. My cousin's my best friend because I trust him so much. And sometimes he gets into trouble. I will guarantee that he gets into trouble sometimes. But I trust him so much to the point where he tells me, I will go through with a fine-tooth comb and take stuff that he says that might be helpful to me and write down the stuff he says. And I'll incorporate it later, and I'll incorporate it into something that I know might be a lottery winner for me, that I know can actually help me and improve my life, and improve my success rate, and improve where I am in my life, and my enjoyment in life, and get to a point where I'm like, alright, hey, you know what, this is doing pretty good for me right now. I can actually do stuff that I want to do. So, as I was doing this stuff, a cousin called me up and said, alright, you're doing pretty good, but I want you to change it up a little bit. I want you to do something completely different, out of your comfort zone. I want you to stop. Stop exactly what you're doing. I want you to stop and feel exactly what it's like to lose your momentum and to lose your motivation and grind to do. So I'm like, why? I'm doing so good. If I stop now, I probably won't stop. It's like, exactly. I want you to get so uncomfortable with stopping that you don't want to stop again because you feel so uncomfortable where you're at right now. So I thought, all right, I'll try. I could not do 3 weeks. I couldn't. I could only do 1 week. I could probably do half a week. Because I'm like, okay, this is stupid. I am driving myself insane because I cannot sleep anymore because I have so much energy that I've been using to do these workouts and stuff like that to better myself in my future life and to build my success rate. That when I stopped, I'm like, what am I gonna do now? Because I have so much energy that I cannot do anything with it. And I started balancing off roles basically because I had so much energy that I was not burning on my workout because I was so used to doing 6 or 7 things a day on my workout with probably about 10 reps for each one. Reps is short for repetitions if you guys don't know that. Sorry, you guys probably do. But I would do 10 reps for everything, sometimes more. And when I didn't do that, I was bound full of energy. I was kinetic energy that was being pushed together, that was trying to push back out. Because I could not do anything. It was driving me mad. It was driving me insane, the fact that I could not do something. So I contacted her. I wrote him this huge speech about my saying, I'm done. I can't do this. I'm going to start doing my own thing again because what she said to me is helpful, but it's driving me nuts. And he responded with basically only the fewest amount of words you can get to say this. You've experienced failure. Like, what? How do you know I've experienced failure? He's like, well, because I told you to wait 3 weeks, but you only waited half a week. That's failure. Like, no, it's not. That's me building off something that's useful. It's like, exactly. But it is still technically failure because you have stopped. You listen to me. You listen to me telling you to stop. I'm like, what's that supposed to be? Like saying, this is before I started writing down stuff I was telling me, by the way. He said, well, because you listened to me, someone that you trusted, so much trust in, they told you to stop. You stopped. But why? Why did you stop? You had so much momentum going. You were doing so great, and you stopped. Why? Find out why you stopped and why you listened to me. So I found out that because I wasn't actually technically motivated to do this stuff. I was doing it because I was excited to change something in my life. Something new was happening in my life that I wanted to do. And he said, exactly. You want to find out why you're doing it. You want to change it up. You want to change it to a point of where you're actually motivated to do it. Not because someone told you to do it, but because you want to do it. Because you want to change your life in such a way that you can move forward with your success, with where you want to be in life. Sometimes you are so uncomfortable where you are right now. You want to change, but you don't know how to. So you want to find someone that is so helpful, that it gives you lots of motivation that you can go to. And sometimes it'll be a buddy that you love so much, or you trust so much, and they can help you. They'll sometimes even offer to help you. I did that with some of my friends. I said, you know what, I'll work out with you. Why? Because I worked out a lot myself. I'm bored. I'll help you. Just give something new to do in my life, and I'll help you. I will change your way so much to the point where you don't want to stop. I'll tell you the exact same stuff that happened to me, and you can incorporate it to what you want to happen in your life. Things will change for you. Things will be different for you because you're not me, and your body's different than me. You could probably weigh more than me. You could probably weigh less than me. You could probably have more muscle than I do at the point where I started. So things will be easier for you or harder for you, depending on how good you are at your health and fitness, or how bad you're at health and fitness. It doesn't matter though, because sometimes you can be bad at fitness, or bad at health, or both, and you can still beat me at something, because that's how you are. Like some of my friends that are bigger in size can beat me in video games, no problem, okay? Because I don't play video games that often, and when I do it for the enjoyment, not because I want to do it competitively, because I do it for enjoyment, and because my friend's doing it, and because I want to be supportive to my friend who wants to do something. So I'll be there, and I'll enjoy it. Because sometimes, I'll get lucky, and I'll win. Sometimes it's a game that I can pick up immediately, and I can beat someone at it. But most of the time, I will do it because I enjoy it. But some of my friends are so good at the game that they play competitively around the world. I have one friend that plays competitively from different high schools, from gaming tournaments. There's a place, well, not really a place, it's a youth group at church that I went to camp with, called Satellite Gaming, and they have a lot of members, and some of them basically play competitively around the world. And they built this Satellite Gaming, this whole thing, from a basement, one basement, and they made this entire thing out of it. That's what drive and motivation and the ability to put your mind in anything that you want to do comes into effect. And if you can do that from a basement, because you had an idea, and one man made this idea. He got together a whole church, whole church of youth, brought people in from the neighboring neighborhoods, brought them in, made this thing, came there every week, and everyone got so into it, they created their own brand. They have their own shirts, they have their own reward center, they give out consoles. They actually give out consoles because their site is so big. They're really good at what they do. And that's success. They're building off success. They're getting bigger and bigger and bigger because the success that they had, and they're still having that success. The success that you have in life depends on how willing you are to succeed, how willing you are to put in the time and the work to keep succeeding at what you want to do. Sometimes success will just stop and you're wondering where it's gone, and sometimes you'll, because of success not coming, you'll stop, you'll lose motivation, you'll start going back down a hill. You'll climb a hill and you'll stop, and you'll sometimes, basically we'll do it like this. You're on a bike, and you go uphill and you stop because you can't go much further, and your bike starts back in the hill, and you try to put the brakes on, but it's still going backwards. You start pedaling and pedaling. Sometimes you stop, and sometimes you work way back up the hill. But you have to keep finding ways to keep pushing through. Basically, some bicyclists I know say that sometimes the hills that they climb are so big, and they've been biking for hours before, that this hill is just basically almost too big. And what you want to do is, what they told me is, sometimes yes, you want to fall down the hill. You want to fall down that hill, turn back, and go home. And keep trying, keep pushing yourself. And sooner or later, it's basically like what you're doing working out. You keep pushing yourself and pushing until you can beat that hill. You can get over that hill, and then it's all downhill from there. Because over that hill, it's always downhill. Everything is easier going downhill. And then you keep using momentum that you're getting from going over that hill, that huge hill that you passed, and you're riding that momentum down, and you keep pushing and grinding and digging deep and keep pushing yourself to the point of where, like, success is not an option. Success is just a way of life. Success comes first. I succeed at everything I do because I have gotten over that huge hill, because I am riding momentum, and momentum is pushing me, and my success, and my motivation, and my digging, my drive to get to the point where I'll be. This is when champions are born, okay? Champions are born by you building off success and getting so good at success that you know nothing else besides success. Success is something that just happens. It just, you build off it. You keep building off success that happened past life, and sooner or later you'll get to a point where you're a champion. Things start getting so easy for you that you start looking at life and thinking, alright, I can do this. This is so easy. I've done so much stuff before in my past that this is basically learning how to walk. Walking is easy. Walking uphill is so easy because you, before, weren't walking uphill. You were just walking a straight line. And now you started working out and started putting yourself in an uncomfortable situation. You started hitting hills because hills slow you down. When you hit these hills and started going downhill again, you thought, all right, well, sooner or later these hills are going to start getting bigger. And when they did, you started pushing and digging and grinding. And this turned out to be better for your life. And the champions that are born are so great at what they do because they passed them. They've been in the shadows. They've been in the shadows, and they finally came out. And it's basically like a football game when the players are all behind these doors stuff, and then all of a sudden fireworks go out and flames start shooting out, and these guys all run out and can come out behind a flag. It's basically what's going to happen for you once you are a champion. You'll come out of the shadows so fast, and people will be so surprised that you're there that they're like, how did he do this? How did he get to the point where he is now, and we're doing something else? We're partying and stuff like that, and he's gotten to the point where he's now. He has never come to any parties, anything like that. He stayed home and did this stuff that he wanted to do, and now he's in a success rate. He's succeeding at so much stuff, and they're not succeeding at so much stuff. You're basically up here, and they're down here, because they didn't do the stuff you did. They did their own stuff. And your life choices and their life choices are always going to be different when you do things. Sometimes you'll meet someone that sometimes, or somehow, your life choices are the exact same. Nothing changed. Nothing was different. It's basically like somehow your doppelgangers around the world, and you guys met at once, and you guys have the exact same drive, the exact same energy, the exact same passion to where you want to be at, and realize, hey, it's friendly competition. I'll challenge him. Once you find someone to challenge in a championship, the rise and the grind for the championship starts. Things start unfolding so easily, and it gets so much easier because now you have someone that you're competing against, and you want to win. You want to win so bad, so you start pushing yourself even more and more and more and more. And sooner or later, it doesn't matter who wins at that point, because at the end you'll realize, well, first of all, I started back there, I was only running 50cc. Now I'm running 150cc because I jumped so much because I started in a competition, and I realized, hey, it's the way better myself. It's the way of succeeding in life to the point of where I'm like, well, I got nothing else to do. So at that point, when you beat someone, and you become if you beat someone, okay, actually, no, take that back. Never say if, always say when. If you say if, that means you're not fully dedicated to what you want to do. You say when, always, because that means, hey, you know what? It's not an if for me. It's not an option. Failure is not an option. It is not even in my mind. You say when, always. Because when you say when, that means that you are automatically going to succeed. That you know you're going to succeed. Because if you say if, you are giving the possibility of you failing. And that's bad. Once you let even a single thought of failure come into your mind, it starts seeping in. Seeping into, it's basically like putting dye in a cup of water. The dye will start spreading. And once that happens, it's basically how failure works. Once failure gets inside your mind, you have to work overtime to get it back out of your mind. Because sometimes failure can dig in so deep, and you want to stop so bad, and failure is hitting you over and over and over and over and over again. To the point where you're like, why is happening to me now? I was doing so good in the past. Why is failure hitting me now? Because you let that thought in. You let the thought of failure get in. And at first, it was just an insignificant little dust speck. Once it got in, it started growing. And it started festering, and it started taking hold of things. And you realize, I'm feeling this, I'm feeling at this, I'm feeling at this. And once you fail at one thing, you start panicking. You want to find out why you're failing. And in your panic, you fail another thing. And you fail another thing. And you fail another thing. And sooner or later, you have failed so many things, you're thinking, well, I should stop right now. I should quit. But at that point, this is also when a champion is born. When you have so much failure that you've experienced, and has happened, and you keep pushing forward. You keep digging in, and thinking, hey, I got nothing else to lose. Because you failed so much stuff. You can only move forward when you fail at everything. You can only move forward. You can only move uphill and over that hill and go back downhill after you failed so much stuff. You keep digging and you keep grinding to the point of where you're like, this is so easy now. I failed so many times back then, and I've taken that failure and put it into more energy and put it back into my drive, my motivation, and my grind. And I go over that hill, and I kept pushing. I kept digging. And sooner or later, you'll reach the end point where you want to be, which should hopefully be when you're about to pass away. You don't want, because if you keep building, if you build up all this anticipation to where you want to be, you build up this entire thing, like, if I get to this point, I'll be the greatest. If I get to this point, I'll be the best there is. You get to that point, and you succeed. You have nothing else to do. You did not think too far ahead. You thought about getting to that point only, which is good. If you have a single focused view, you have a tunnel vision to where you want to be, nothing else distracts you. No distractions you let in, and you focus on this one thing you want, and you succeed. And you have nothing else to do, and you don't know what to do anymore. And you're just like walk around doing the exact same stuff you used to do, but you've already succeeded, so you don't know what you're supposed to do anymore. You keep moving forward. You make a new hill, a taller hill, a bigger hill, and you keep pushing forward. You keep adding hills over and over and over and over again until sooner or later you have Mount Everest. And on top of Mount Everest, you have a world to climb. And on top of that world, you have a bigger world. And on top of that, you have space, which is infinite. And you keep grinding to something, but never, ever make something as makes. Basically, me saying space is infinite was a bad idea. Because once you make space infinite, you lose motivation fast. Because you're thinking, well, I'm not grinding towards anything. This goes on forever. There's nothing I can do to stop this. You have to lie. You have to add stuff. You want to add pit stops, like they do in NASCAR. They'll make dugouts or pit dugouts, whatever they're called, where they go in and they change up. They change tires. They add fuel. They get back in the race. That's what you want to do in space. Once you climb Mount Everest and climb the world and climb a bigger world, and you reach space, you want to add pit stops along the way, where you can slow down, take a breather, and get back in. That's what you want to do. You want to keep grinding for success to the point where you're like thinking, well, I got nothing else to do. I have nothing better to do with my time because I've had tunnel vision. I have focused on this only, and I have focused my entire life on this. And if I turn back now, I'm nowhere. I got nothing to do. I never studied for anything else. I never hit anything else. I never want to do a secondary thing. For me, I want to go military. I'm gonna get out of military. I'm gonna go with mechanics. That's what I want to do. That is my focus. That is my tunnel vision. Tunnel vision for me first is going to the military, and then I'll actually let the thought of going to mechanics slide into my mind after I get close to getting out of the military. If I get in, not when I get in the military and when I push towards my ultimate dream, which I can't tell you because that'd be too much. And when I reach the point where I want to be in my life, and I stay there for as long as possible, until I realize, all right, the feeling of getting here is wearing off, and I move on. Then I'll let something secondary get into my mind. When I've completed what I want to get, I have stayed in that comfort zone, in that pleasurable spot where I finally reach after so many years of hard grinding and digging and motivational loss and failure and more failure, and keep grinding towards where I want to be. And I'm finally in that spot of where I was happy and where I wanted and always imagined myself to be. And then I move on. Because once I stay there for a while, and I suck up all the pleasure that I can get out of being there, I move on to something else. I make a new mountain. I make a new hill. I make a new world, basically, to climb, to explore, and to mess around with. So for me, it's going to be military and mechanics. These are two things I thought of when I was young. And I thought, all right, if I do this, I will be set up for success, because I have thought of two things I wanted to do, and I'll have tunnel vision on that only. I'm not going to let anything else enter my mind. Not failure, not other people's opinions. People offer you opinions. Like I said, you go through it. You dig through it, like you're digging through folders. You don't stop until you find something, hey, this guy should be helpful. You bring it back into your area, and you work towards it again. You keep pushing yourself to a point of where you're so uncomfortable that you feel like, all right, if I stop now, where am I going to be at? Put yourself in such an uncomfortable position that once you stay in that uncomfortable position for so long, you get used to it. You just change off it. You want to build off of that uncomfortable position. Once you get used to a comfortable position, put yourself somewhere else uncomfortable and keep pushing and keep grinding for something that will actually be helpful towards your actual life. And that's all I gotta say. Keep grinding, keep the spirit going. Good luck.